What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to do a review on the movie, The Girl on the Train. And before I begin, I just want to give a little information. As you guys may or may not know, the movie, The Girl on the Train, is based off of the book with the same name by Paula Hawkins. And it's her first book. And immediately when she released the book, it was really successful, and they snatched up the movie rights to that pretty quickly. So I found out about the book just online. I was browsing around half.com and I ran across the book, and I kept running across the book on my recommended list, and I was like, I wonder what this is about. Then I checked it out. I was like, oh, okay. So I read the book first and then saw the movie. But in this review, which by the way is no spoilers, I'm not going to spoil the movie for you guys. Okay, no spoilers. But in this review, I'm just going to concentrate on the movie. However, in another video, I'm going to do a compare and contrast analysis of the book versus the movie. But for now, just about the movie. All right, so the movie takes place in New York, and Rachel is commuting to and from Manhattan, pretty much. She's a struggling alcoholic, and on her commute, sometimes she sips alcohol. It's the clear kind, so it looks like water. And on her commute, she also notices this house and the couple in this house. The couple that she affectionately calls Jess and Jason. And Jess, of course, later we find out is actually named Megan, and Jason, we find out is later actually named Scott. And she watches them on her way to and from. One day she notices, however, that she sees Megan with a man, but the man isn't her husband. And then Megan comes up missing. And Rachel feels like she can be of assistance to the case. However, Rachel is not probably the strongest witness that a case could have, because she's a blackout drunk. She is the struggling alcoholic, and her life is pretty much in shambles. She lost her job. She's hitting the bottle pretty hard. Her husband left her. Just a lot of stuff. But Rachel has a connection to the street that Megan and Scott live on. She actually used to live on that street herself before her husband divorced her. So she, finds that somewhat familiar territory. And as well, when she sees Megan and Scott habitually, she kind of wishes that were her. She feels like, they seem like the perfect couple. And, how could she do that to him? How could Megan, cheat on her husband like that? And as the story goes on, come to find out, Megan shows up missing. And, Rachel's like, whoa, well, I know her. I remember seeing her, So she's trying to, help solve this case and find out what happened to Megan, because Megan is missing. And, you know, Rachel is struggling because she feels like she has information about one, it was a guy that she was seeing, well, a guy that Megan was seeing, um, and she feels like that is a piece of information that the police need to know. And as well, there's, she herself is actually implicated in this case as well, because she was actually on the same street around the same time that Megan showed up missing. And Rachel is a blackout drunk, and she has been known to be violent when she's drunk, you know. And also, Rachel was really mad at Megan, and one of her drunken stupors, she, made a recording saying she wanted to grab her head and bash her head, you know. And so at one point you're like, you know. But overall, as far as the movie is concerned, I think the movie is okay. For me, I think the movie was a bit rushed and it left out necessary details, details that were needed to really kind of like elaborate and develop the characters more, and as well help you, have more of a connection with the characters, and just to know some backstory about the characters as well. I have a lot to say about, the book versus the movie, but this is not the video for that. But I'm going to be making the video for that. So don't worry. But ultimately, I think it's a bit weird that the movie takes place in New York, but the main character, Rachel, has an accent that seems British, but no one else seems to have an accent that is British for some reason. I don't know why that is. Everyone else has an American accent. See, those are some of the. I have a lot of things to go on about, in my head when I was reading the book, it wasn't what I quite imagined it was going to be. I do like having a visual, though, definitely. But to keep it strictly to the movie, overall, I thought the movie was okay. It could have been better. And what could have made it better was just more character development, and probably sticking closer to the book. I think they took a few liberties. Not liberties, but they kind of changed a couple of things around, And some of the, a few of the changes were not really a big deal, but I know one change that they made that I won't go into in this video. I'll go into it on the video where I do the movie versus the book, and vice versa. But one major change that they made that I didn't like, I didn't like that, as well as others too. But one major one that I was like, why you guys do that? Why y'all do that? But for now, I'll bring this video to a close. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. And also, please, go and look at the video where I do a compare and contrast on the book versus the movie. In that video, be warned, there will be major spoilers in that video. Please be warned. But again, thanks a lot for watching, you guys.